Ba-da-bow! Hey, what's up, everybody? It is I, your coach, Melanie Black, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my progress from the first 21 days of my 18-week-long fat loss journey. So this past year, for those of you who don't know, I have gained 50 stinking pounds on purpose so that I could see if losing 50 pounds when you're in your 40s is harder than when you're in your 20s, because the last time I weighed this much I was back in my 20s, right? And last year one of my students had challenged me. She says, Melanie, you lost all that weight back when you were in your 20s. It's not so easy when you get a little bit older. And this is not the first time I've heard this complaint. So I said, okay, this year there's nothing else going on. No competitions to do, no bodybuilding, nothing packing people into a stadium or into theater, even like runs and races, not such a good idea in 2020. So I was like, okay, it is time. So this year I gained on 50 pounds. The original plan was to gain on 75, but I couldn't quite push it there. But I did gain 50 pounds, which was the most weight I have gained since becoming a personal trainer in 2008. And now I'm in I have just finished day 21. I'm day 23 now of using the same plan that I give to all of my students when they want to lose weight quickly, safely, and without starving to death. And this is a plan that's very tried and true. But the big burning question is, number one, can I stick to my own advice and actually do what I tell these folks to do? And number two, can I actually lose 50 pounds in 18 weeks? Because that is a tight schedule for that amount of fat loss. Well, things are going mostly okay. I'm going to get in really deep and detailed with the good, the bad, and the ugly, so that those of you who are going on this weight loss journey with me, those of you who are members of the Nerd Gym who are on this plan, I'm going to help you troubleshoot. I'm going to give you recipes. If you are new to Nerd Gym and or this channel, please go ahead, like, subscribe, blah, 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 if you end up digging the content and getting something beneficial out of it. Okay, so about 15 pounds in 21 days. How much of it was actually fat? How much of it was water weight? All that stuff, we're going to get into it right now. Here we go. Okay, so days 1 through 21 success. I have lost somewhere between 14 and 17 pounds of fat. How much fat? Not exactly sure, but somewhere between 14 and 17 based on the circumference measurements. That matches up nicely so far with the scale, which has me at a loss of 15.4 pounds. So that lets me know that 15 pounds, it's not all water weight, it is actual fat loss. We are seeing the circumference measurements going down. I have lost half an inch on my neck, 4.5 inches on the smallest part of my waist, 4.75 inches on my belly around the belly button. I'm down 3 inches on my hips, a half inch on the arms, and 1.5 inch on each thigh. So far, I'm on track to lose 50 pounds in 18 weeks, and my foot is feeling better, which is super awesome. So one of the things that you want to keep in mind as we're talking about this fat loss journey, you will lose weight a lot faster at the beginning of your journey, and especially if you are on the heavier side. So I've had people on this plan who have lost as much as like 39 pounds in a single month, but they had more to lose. And then people who are leaner, like this guy here, they're going to lose less in that same amount of time. So keep in mind, number one, I am starting from 50 pounds overweight, 53 pounds overweight to be exact, and then we are losing from there. So we're expecting an accelerated rate of fat loss at the beginning of the journey. It will not last. As exciting as it is to lose 10 pounds in a week, it's not going to keep going this way. So we'll do a quick recap. I'll show you what we're looking at this week. And then today I'm also going to share with you some recipes, because I know that I tend not to share recipes. I tend to do the same stuff over and over again. But there are a few good ones that I've come up with these past couple weeks that I want to share with you that are on plan for Power Up Meal Plan, if that's the one you're on with me right now. Okay, so back to the screen. Okay, now as far as struggles go, Sleep and stress has been not great this past week. I've had some sleep challenges, stressing out just about like, I'm going to be moving in about 6 weeks here. I'm trying to like cut my expenses and, do financial stuff. And, it's been a hell of a year, roller coaster wise for me as a business owner. So it's just been a little bit stressful wrapping up the year here and trying to cut expenses and getting ready to move. So I've had some sleepless nights, which is totally normal under the circumstances. Still having difficulty with the volume of food that is on the Power Up meal plan. That is by far my number one complaint that I get from people. Getting in enough vegetables, some fluctuations in water weight, which is really no big deal, but it's just annoying to see that scale bounce around from time to time. Getting enough walking in is still a challenge, although my foot is feeling better after some dedicated foot care for a couple of weeks, which is awesome. And weird body stuff, that it was mostly just the foot that was bugging me. So moving on. So quick recap, day 1, here I am weighing in at 203. Day 7, weighing in at 193. Day 14, weighing in at 191. And day 21, weighing in at, there it is, 187.6. Okay, and my back muscles are starting to show through again. Yay! Okay. So for the first week, in the first week, I lost 9.5 pounds on the scale, but probably around 7 to 8 pounds of actual fat, mostly on the back. In week 2, I lost an additional maybe 4 or 5 pounds of fat on the scale. Not on the scale, 4 to 5 pounds based on the measurements, although only 2.8 pounds on the scale. And here I am, week 3, the week 3 difference, days 14 through 21, I'm down an additional 3.4 pounds on the scale and an additional 3.75 inches, which means that I've probably lost around 3 or 4 additional pounds of fat. So the fat loss is already starting to slow down. This is normal, and I think this is one of the things that tends to discourage and get people early on is, you go through those first couple of weeks and it's so exciting. You see the scale go down, go down, go down, and you can feel changes in your body pretty rapidly at the beginning. I lost 9 pounds in that week 1, like that's a big stinking difference. But then just already into week 3 and I'm already losing at a slower rate, but this is absolutely to be expected. And in fact, in a few more weeks, I can expect that fat loss, that rate of fat loss to slow down to between 1 and 2 pounds per week. So where I am right now with total fat loss being down 15 pounds in the first 21 days, I am on track for that 50 in 18 weeks, but it's going to be tight. And I knew it would be. I knew this was going to be a challenge, but I love a challenge. So yes, that is the difference here in week 3. Mostly I'm seeing it in the love handles and the hips is where I see the fat loss for week 3 here. Days 1, 7, 14, you can see me shrinking down, and there's with the day 21 added in here. Okay, so far so good, pretty steady progress. The fat's going to have some weird lumpy bits from time to time. That's normal. Sometimes people will lose inconsistently from right to left thigh, that kind of thing. So as you're losing weight, as you're losing body fat, remember you're going to go through little ugly duckling phases where you have weird what's it called? The cellulite. Cellulite is just fat, y'all. It's, there's going to be certain stages where you feel like, oh, you're extra lumpy or one leg is bigger than the other. And it's just, the body's a hot mess. It's fine. It'll all even out as you go. Just be patient with yourself and be patient with your body. And remember that those changes are going to be a little less dramatic each week, but that's okay because every week you're going to be more and more habitual. It's going to be less of a struggle for you to figure out, like, what am I going to eat? What am I going to do? What am I going to make? How do I get that walk in? That kind of thing. So as the level of struggle with habits goes down, so does the rapid amount of progress, but that's okay. Just keep doing your measurements every single week. Step on the scale regularly, a couple times a day even, just so that you can see that the water weight fluctuation is going to be all over the place. Don't step on the scale frequently to obsess over like, oh, I need to lose that pound, or oh, I gained a pound today, but rather to see that, yeah, your body weight is going to fluctuate like wild all across the day. Anywhere between 3 and 8 pounds per day is totally normal body weight fluctuation within any given day. So keep that in mind. Especially with this program, because there's no limitations on salt, and remember, salt can cause a lot of bloating, that kind of thing. We want you to drink lots of water on this program to help everything move along, and there's lots of volume, lots of vegetables. So weight fluctuations, no big deal, although it still is irritating. I wish it would just go down so consistently, but it just don't. Okay, so here we go. I didn't take an updated picture of my fridge because I've been eating the same things pretty much for the past 21 days. But what I did do this week is I did highlight some of my favorites. Okay, strawberry lime yogurt. This is so simple. You take 0% Greek yogurt, whatever amount is on your meal plan. For me, if I'm doing a snack, it's 6 ounces. If it's a meal, it's 12 ounces of Greek yogurt. And then you just take some strawberry jello, sprinkle it on there, lime juice. You can do this with any kind of jello. You could do it with lemon juice, but strawberry and lime is my favorite combo. And you could actually go through the trouble of making the jello. All I do is I take the powder from the packet and I just sprinkle it on the yogurt. And I know it looks gross, but it tastes freaking amazing. So I highly recommend you try this. And it's just, it's protein and tastiness is all it is. So it's the strawberry jello is the sugar-free variety, by the way, sugar-free variety for this meal plan. If you have a sensitivity to the non-caloric sweetener that they use in strawberry jello, you can put another spin on that Greek yogurt by using something like stevia and lime juice or different flavors like this. But yes, non-caloric sweetener and fruity flavors, fantastic in that Greek yogurt. So my days 1 through 4, just to recap here, I weighed in at 203, then it went down to 200, 198, 197. It was going down really nice and consistent. Ooh, another of my absolute favorite recipes from this particular week was the fried eggs and spinach. So simple, so delicious, just really good fried eggs. I like the yolk a little bit runny in the center, but I like my whites fully cooked. Your preferences may vary. And all I did was saute some red onion and spinach in the pan. Now, I used up all of my fat with the egg yolk. So that I used 5 eggs. So I didn't have any fat left over for the pan, which means that I have a really good nonstick, not a good quality nonstick, just a new one. Just a new little nonstick. And then I would just put a little water in with the onions to get them going, and then you'd pop the spinach in there and it shrinks down real good. Everything sautés up. So it's basically like a steamed red onion and spinach and fried eggs with some hot sauce, salt, and pepper on top. So good. Most of the extra calories that people tend to accidentally get in when they are doing a meal plan like this, or another one like the Mediterranean diet, like when people are trying to, they're trying to eat healthier. One of the really fast ways to overdo your calories and just go wild with it is if you start adding oil to your pan. That oil racks up the calories so fast, and while olive oil is a good healthy oil or whatever, it doesn't matter how healthy it is. If you're going way over in your calories, that's not going to help your fat loss. So you want to make sure that you're accounting for all of your calories, especially the ones from oil, as you get it going there. So that was a really good recipe. Day 5, 195. Day 6, 194. Day 7, 193. My cat is adorable. Day 8, 198, day 9, 194, day 10, 193, day 11, 193, again, a little plateau there, a little mini plateau. My favorite recipe from this particular week was rice, meat, and vegetables. So this is very like, if you like Polish stuffed cabbage, that kind of thing, it was those kind of vibes that it was giving me. It was boiled cabbage and carrots, just boiled with a little chicken broth and a little chicken stock in there. Rice, just a basic white long grain rice. ground chicken and beef. And the reason I did ground chicken and beef is I like the flavor of beef better. I'm not a real big fan of chicken, frankly, but beef is pretty fatty. So what I did is I took some ground beef and ground chicken, half and half. I mixed it up, I fried it up, and then I actually rinsed it in water to rinse away the excess fat that came off the beef, so that it was a low fat chicken and beef mixture that was a little bit more beefy flavored than just chicken. And then I added cumin, salt, pepper, and hot sauce. Oh, fun fact, by the way, if you tend to be gassy, cumin helps with gas. Let's see, day 12, 193, day 13, 191, day 14, 191, day 15, back up to 193. Oh, it was those stinking pickles that did it. I was eating a lot of pickles this week to get my vegetables in, and those are some salty vegetables. Now, I do have an off-plan day here, day number 13. I made room for some red wine, thoroughly enjoyed it. Tofu pizza is my new favorite thing. Okay, well, I don't know if you could really call it a pizza, but what I do is I take some tin foil, I smoosh the tofu super flat and super thin, stick it under the broiler on high, let some of the air, or not air, some of the steam come up off of it, lightly brown it on the top, and then I flip it upside down onto another pan with tin foil on it, put it back under the broiler, and if it's at dinner time, I'll add my fat allotment in cheese and brown that. Add a little hot sauce, little vegetables. Fantastic, so good. So it's basically like it's not a thick crust. It's a super thin, floppy but chewy, and I don't know. I just think it's great. Tofu pizza. I don't know if pizza is the right word for it. It's like got the consistency of a tortilla, kind of. All right, day 16, decided to bake cookies. I was testing out a new gingerbread cookie recipe for the fam, and had some red wine as well. So here again, I switched to the If It Fits Your Macros plan. I've switched off of Pump onto If It Fits Your Macros. So if you're a member of the Nerd Gym, you have access to both of these plans, and they are interchangeable. So while the Power Up Meal Plan is the most effective for fat loss, if you occasionally want to have a day with things that are not typically on the Power Up Meal Plan, you can switch to an If It Fits Your Macros, and you'll still make progress. So 190.4, 189.8, 194.8, and 188.6. Now, as we're getting into these days, I started just taking one picture if I was going to do the same meal over a couple of times. So like on day 17 here, I had that tuna and cucumber for breakfast and lunch and dinner. I just added some rice to the breakfast lunch, and then I had that tofu pizza for my snack and dinner, and then some what's it called, broth. Beef broth and pickles. And because I had beef broth and pickles, my weight shot up again the next day. It went from 189.8 back up to 194.8 because of the sodium. We went through this a couple weeks ago also, so no new news there. And then day 18, again, more cucumber tuna salad, more tofu pizza. Day 19, down to 188.6. Real light on the vegetables on day 19. I had pineapple and yogurt and pizza and pickles, and that was it. And then I would say that cucumber tuna salad was definitely my favorite from this batch. That was Persian cucumbers, although you could use any kind of cucumbers. Persian are the little guys, sometimes called cocktail cucumbers, where you keep the skin on because the skin's real thin, so it doesn't really it's not like the thick waxy skin of the big cucumbers. It's a real thin skin cucumber. Dice that up with some white onion, fresh dill, tuna, salt, pepper, hot sauce. And I put some apple cider vinegar in there too. Forgot to write that down. Okay, day 20, 191.0, day 21, and I'm down to 187.6. And then I decided to have another off-plan If It Fits Your Macros day. bumped me up a little bit the next day, especially with the sodium from the canned soup and the pickles. So I was back up to 188.6 on day 22. Today I'm back down to 187.4. And definitely from this past few days, tuna, coleslaw, rice is my favorite meal. So I've got some shredded cabbage here with red onion, fresh dill, lime juice. I've got some tuna with sriracha sauce on it, and I've got some brown rice. Pretty simple and easy, but it all goes together beautifully. So yeah, I hope you maybe got some ideas for your meal prep. If you have questions about the Power Up meal plan, about how to do the upcoming challenge, we do only have 4 spots available for January of 2021. So if you want to lose 20 pounds of 2020 Kummerspick, go ahead and sign up. Yeah, man, what a year, huh? I'm so glad it's almost over. All right, so yeah, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments, hit me up at the Nerd Gym, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.